I'm reborn and back. When I saw a flower pot falling from high up about to hit my wife, I chose to stand by and do nothing. 'Cause in my past life, when a falling flower pot was about to hit my wife, I didn't care about my own safety. Rushed over to push her out of the way. I got hit so bad that I had a concussion. My retina detached, and I went completely blind. But the person who dropped the pot was Liu Ruyan's beloved first love. My first love, Liu Ruyan, found out about it. She forgave him right then on my behalf and said she would take good care of me and be my eyes. But on my birthday, she insisted on taking me mountain climbing. Once we got to the top, he left me all alone right there. I panicked and lost my footing, fell off the cliff and died instantly. Liu Ruyan stood at the top, hugging her first love, laughing coldly. Chen Mo, you don't deserve to be with me. Everything you own will belong to Aixing and me from now on. My soul floated in midair. I watched them get married and have kids, enjoying everything that should have been mine. I was consumed with bitter hatred. I never thought when I opened my eyes again, I would be back to the day I got hit by the flower pot. Chen Mo, hurry up. The art exhibition is about to start. My brain went blank for a second. I soon realized my wife and I were standing at the exhibition entrance. I was really reborn, back to the day I got hit by the pot. But this time I'm not saving her. I really want to see with my own eyes what will happen to my painter wife. After she gets blinded by her beloved first love, how she will react. Seeing me standing there frozen without responding, Liu Ruyan looked unhappy and called me again.
沉默.
I ignored her and looked up around the rooftop instead. When I saw a flower pot falling down rapidly, I smiled. The person who made me go blind and die with hatred. The perpetrator finally showed up, only this time the victim is not me. Chenmo, what are you zoning out for? Hurry up! Liu Ruyan's annoyed urging barely finished when there was a loud crack. The sharp shattering sound and a scream rang out at the same time. I looked at Liu Ruyan lying unconscious in a pool of blood. I couldn't help feeling overjoyed and excited, looking at Chu Sheng's back as he hurried off the rooftop. I almost ran up to praise him for doing a great job. I forced out 2 tears, pretending to be extremely worried. Honey, what's wrong with you? Honey, you can't have anything bad happen to you. Honey, say something, please. I asked passersby to help carry her to the car. I drove towards the hospital, intentionally taking the most congested route. I was just trying to waste time, to let Liu Ruyan get a taste of the pain I went through in my past life. At the hospital, after the attending doctor finished the examination, your wife's condition is very critical. She has nerve damage in her head. Her retina is detached. She might go blind. Doctor, please, you have to save my wife. She's a well-known painter. How will she live if she loses her sight? I was ecstatic inside, but put on a heartbroken look on my face, grabbing the doctor's sleeve while looking devastated. A week later, Liu Ruyan woke up. Her head was all wrapped up like a swollen pig head, and she was completely blind. I took care of her closely every day. Liu Ruyan can't die yet. She has to live well. I have to watch her and that bastard fight like dogs first. Only then can I avenge what happened in my past life. Why? Why can't I see anything at all? Honey, it's all my fault you ended up like this. If I hadn't reacted so slowly back then, I would have definitely protected you. I wish I was the one who got hit instead. You're such a talented painter. Now you can't see anymore. And your face is disfigured too. How are you going to live in the future? What? Liu Ruyan let out a shrill scream and passed out again. I quickly completed the discharge procedures for Liu Ruyan. She's a useless waste now. There's no need to waste even a cent of my money on her at the hospital. After getting home, Liu Ruyan wailed nonstop from morning to night. The pain from her wounds made her suffer terribly. She refused to eat or drink, saying it was all my fault for not protecting her well enough. I held a bowl of porridge to feed her, but she raised her hand and knocked the bowl over. As luck would have it, all the boiling hot porridge spilled all over her body. Liu Ruyan rolled on the ground in agony again. Honey, you have to keep living well. Don't give up. I believe you can beat this illness. You can pick up the paintbrush again. After saying that, I started telling her about those inspiring disabled blind people around the world. After that, Liu Ruyan felt even more desperate. Silence. Why? Why did you hurt me so badly? Honey, I didn't do this to you. Just wait. The person who hurt you will come very soon. Just as I spoke, bursts of cries came from outside the door. Ruyan! Ruyan! It's me. Please forgive me. I walked outside to take a look. It was exactly Chu Sheng, In my past life, they took advantage of my blindness to fool around openly at home. I endured great pain just to stay alive, but Chusheng wouldn't even give me that chance until I fell off the cliff. Chusheng said to Liu Ruyan smugly. Isn't my plan great? With this way of death, the police won't even trace it back to us. He never expected that I would be reborn. Right now, Chusheng is kneeling at my doorstep, kowtowing and crying while he repents. I opened the door. He rushed in immediately and ran right to Liu Ruyan's side. Ruyan! Ruyan! Are you okay? Asheng, you said you'd never leave me, right? I won't, as long as you agree. I will stay by your side forever. Just like in my past life, the two of them completely forgot that I exist. What a pair of star-crossed lovers. Only then did Chusheng stand up from Liu Ruyan's side. I'm sorry, Ruyan. I didn't mean to knock over the flower pot. I just wanted to teach Chenmo a lesson. Ruyan, you'll forgive me, right? In my past life, Liu Ruyan chased Chusheng for a long time before he agreed to date her. But they dated for less than 2 months. Before Chusheng Flash married a moderately rich woman, she had no choice but to choose me. In the 10 years I was married to Liu Ruyan always stayed home painting and had no income at all. Back then, she was completely unknown. No one appreciated her works. But I worked hard without complaining and even spent my entire salary to support the family. I also hired professional teachers to tutor her. In those years, to let her focus on creating, I didn't even dare buy myself a new piece of clothing. Finally, Liu Ruyan's work started to get recognized, and her fame grew bigger and bigger. Our lives got much better. We also opened a company, but all the company shares were under her name. I managed the company and was very busy every day. Liu Ruyan only needed to immerse herself in creation. Under my management, she had more money than she could ever spend. Honey, what's mine is yours. And it's also our children's. Don't fuss over the shares, okay? I thought Liu Ruyan would be touched by my more than 10 years of efforts and care about this family, but I never expected that she was never on the same page as me from the start. For Chusheng, she just watched me suffer and did nothing. My years of devotion and efforts only led to a terrible end. Looking at the two of them, I only have hatred and the urge for revenge in my heart. Asheng, what's past is past. Now I'm also a multi-millionaire. I will give you any life you want. She forgot that everything she has now was exchanged by me taking drinking toasts for her until I got stomach bleeding. Liu Ruyan Youth, do you mean you want to divorce me? I'm sorry, Mr. Chen. That's not what I meant. I'm satisfied as long as I can see Ruyan. I don't want to break you two up. Chusheng is a total gold digger. Back then, his fake rich wife couldn't give him anything. He wanted to get a divorce immediately. She refused and abused him physically. He lived a poor life of being beaten for many years. Finally, his wife was sent to prison for breaking the law. That was how he escaped that marriage. He immediately wanted to get back together with Liu Ruyan. This guy's greedy scheme is so obvious it's practically hitting me in the face. You hurt my wife this badly, and you still expect me to forgive you. Silence. Asheng already knows he's wrong. I've already forgiven him. What are you still upset about? Excuse me? This incident caused an extremely bad influence online. If the abuser doesn't get any punishment, more people will follow his example. That's why I sued Chusheng. Just wait to rot in jail. Drop the lawsuit, drop it right now. No way. Chenmo, I'm divorcing you right now. I'll give you half of the family assets. That's enough for you to live for the rest of your life. You must drop the lawsuit. Give me half of the family assets. You think that's enough to send me away? Not only do I want all the property, I also want both of them to pay the price. As soon as Liu Ruyan said those words, Chusheng panicked. He leaned close to Liu Ruyan's ear and whispered a few words. Only then did Liu Ruyan let out a cold snort. She finished all that without saying a word. Chusheng plopped down on his knees right in front of me. Mr. Chen, what do I have to do for you to forgive me? Even if I rot in jail, I still can't fix this mess anyway. Besides, the victim already agreed to forgive me. Why are you being so aggressive and not letting this go? I slapped Chusheng hard across the face. Liu Ruyan is sick right now. That's why she's mentally traumatized. She says some out-of-line stuff sometimes. I can let that slide, but you're the one who ruined her future. I stuck by her for over 10 years. We went through hell together. Now she's finally made a name for herself. And you went and destroyed the most important thing she had. I hit him way too hard. The blow knocked Chusheng sideways onto the floor. He covered his face and screamed in pain. Liu Ruyan rushed over to help him up. She panicked and tripped, falling to the floor too. Chusheng scrambled over to help her up right away. The two of them looked like a couple going through hardship together. Chenmo, I'm perfectly fine. What will it take for you to drop the lawsuit? Name whatever terms you want. I'll agree to all of them. I want the entire company and all assets under your name. All the company shares belong to Liu Ruyan. It doesn't matter if you don't agree. Or are you saying if she becomes a blind, broke loser, you'll leave her? No, I will never leave Ruyan. I pulled out a document and handed it to him. In that case, if you want me to drop the lawsuit, you need to sign this agreement. What, you want 80% of the shares? The next second, he tore the agreement to pieces. I hold all the cards right now. You don't have to sign it if you don't want to. Then you go to jail. Wait a second, Chenmo. You're way too greedy. How can you ask for that much? He's not even pretending anymore. Like he's Liu Ruyan's real husband. Chusheng, get this straight. When did my family's affairs become something you get to meddle in? Chenmo, you're going too far. How dare you threaten Aisheng? Asheng is right. You really are way too greedy. I'm never signing that agreement. Liu Ruyan, it's your choice now. The final say is yours. You have half a day to think it over. Either you give me the shares, or your little lover goes to jail. It's up to you to pick. With that, I grabbed my bag and walked out, to leave the two of them alone to talk. In my past life, the two of them were already involved a long time ago. Liu Ruyan only held back because of his status. She didn't dare to cheat on me openly. Liu Ruyan promised Chusheng she'd divorce me as soon as possible, but she kept putting it off and never did. Chusheng got tired of waiting. In a fit of rage, he threw a flower pot at both of us. He planned to take both of us out at the same time. I know he only wants Liu Ruyan's money. He doesn't love her at all. If he can't get the money, he'd rather burn everything to the ground. After I went blind, they stopped holding back completely. Sure enough, less than 10 minutes later, the home security camera footage showed the two of them all over each other. I turned off my phone. I sent all this evidence to my lawyer. I rested for a week in the apartment I rented. That whole week, Chusheng waited on Liu Ruyan hand and foot. The two of them were glued to each other, just like a newlywed couple. Liu Ruyan now seems terrified of losing Chusheng. I know she was reborn too. Liu Ruyan knows that Chusheng is the one who will spend the rest of her life with her. Now that she's blind, she's scared the love of her life will abandon her. A week later, I went back to the company. When I pushed open the meeting room door, Chusheng and Liu Ruyan were sitting together in the main seat. I'm now President Liu's secretary. I have an announcement for you. You're fired. The shareholders with all kinds of expressions stared at each other in shock. Everyone knew Liu Ruyan was blind, but no one expected that right after she came back to work. She'd pull such a crazy stunt like this. I smiled and said nothing. I walked straight to my own seat. Chenmo, did you not hear me? You're fired. Get out of here now. Chenmo, I want a divorce. Leave the company right now. Mr. Chu, you even have to help my wife go to the bathroom. You've been working pretty hard lately, huh? All the shareholders covered their mouths and snickered. Chusheng's face kept turning pale, then green with anger. Chenmo, what do you have to be smug about? Your own wife dumped you, and you still have the nerve to mock me. You've been living it up so much you lost track of time. Did you forget about withdrawing the lawsuit? Chusheng's face went completely pale. He's been focusing all his energy on winning Liu Ruyan over lately. After all my family's assets are under Liu Ruyan's name. If he gets all of these, forget about this lifetime. He'll never worry about money even in his next life. Liu Ruyan felt really embarrassed. She quickly asked everyone to leave the meeting room. Only the two of them were left in the meeting room. Ruyan, have some water. Look, your lips are all dry. Thanks, Asheng. You've worked so hard. Ruyan, I'd do anything for you. You kept me here just to watch you two put on this disgusting show. Don't forget Liu Ruyan and I are still married. The unloved man is the real third wheel. Chenmo, you're the one who should get out. Oh, right, I'm Ruyan's secretary now. I have a proper job. Withdraw the lawsuit and I'll pay you compensation. 100 million, no less. Take it or leave it. That's straight up robbery. Ruyan doesn't even have 100 million in total. Then you can go to jail. I don't even want your money anyway. Ruyan, look at him. Asheng, calm down. I'll talk to him. Chenmo, I agree to transfer the shares to you, but only 40%. Once you sign the agreement, sign the divorce papers too while you're at it. Fine, let's go through the process. I knew they wouldn't transfer that much money to me. But while I've been resting this period, I've come up with a more detailed plan. Once we sign the agreement, I'll withdraw the lawsuit too. Chusheng was still very reluctant. He had a straight, cold face. We let him off way too easy this time. As long as I can be with you and get divorced from Chen Mo as soon as possible. This small loss is nothing. That was enough to cheer Chu Sheng up. Honey, you're gonna have 8 kids for me. I didn't feel like watching them be all lovey-dovey. I turned around and went back to my office. Now that I hold 40% of the shares, it's the startup capital for the new chapter of my life. I was tidying up my stuff. Chu Sheng showed up at the door. Chen Mo, you didn't see this coming, did you? Even after I hurt Ruyan this badly, she still forgave me. That just shows how much she loves me. Who would have thought a bad thing turned into a good one? You got 1 hour to pack your stuff, then get lost. Don't ever show up in front of my wife again, or you'll regret it. Right after that, all the company's management poured into my office. Mr. Chen, if you're leaving, we're all quitting too. We're all coming with you. We'll take every employee from the company with us. Yeah, we're coming with you. This entire company was built with your blood, sweat, and tears. We've all seen it with our own eyes. Now that scummy couple is reaping the fruits of your labor, and they're even kicking you out. We won't stand for this. Looking at their pairs of sincere eyes, I did have the idea of starting my own business, and I was going to act on it very soon. But you guys can't leave yet. Liu Ruyan and Chu Sheng trended on the hot search list. After all, Liu Ruyan has a lot of fame. When reporters interviewed her, she acted extremely heartbroken. I gave my ex-husband Chen Mo my whole heart. I would have even given my life for him. But after I ended up like this, he cruelly abandoned me and fooled around with other women. It was also his intrusion back then that caused Aisheng and I to break up. Now Aisheng takes care of me 24/7. I really regret marrying Chen Mo. Thank God for sending Aisheng back to me. The hot search blew up instantly. Everyone online was praising Chu Sheng for being handsome and kind. Because of this, Liu Ruyan's company's stock skyrocketed. The two of them made a huge fortune. Chu Sheng sent me pictures of the luxury items that Liu Ruyan bought for him. He also called me all smug. Chen Mo, see that? I'm the real lucky charm for Liu Ruyan. Our company's stock hit the daily limit up. That 40% we gave you is nothing. Looking at the mix of real and fake luxury goods in the pictures, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. What are you laughing at? You'll be crying soon enough. Liu Ruyan is so nice to you, huh? She just buys these small consumer goods to send you off. She's treating you like a beggar. Chu Sheng, if she really loved you, she'd buy you luxury cars and villas, give you company shares. Do you think she's willing to give you those? Chu Sheng hung up the phone furiously. I knew I'd successfully sown discord between them. They've had a few months of happy life already. It's time for them to fall and taste the hardships of real life. Ever since that phone call, they've kept a much lower profile. They don't show off their romance online anymore. Rumor has it they've started the Cold War already. They've been married for over a decade. Plus what I went through in my past life. I know Liu Ruyan pretty well. She loves no one more than herself, always. She dares not give all her assets to Chu Sheng. If she does, she'll get dumped right away. She's stringing Chu Sheng along with money on purpose, so he stays totally devoted to her. My new company finally opened for business. All the staff that stayed at Liu Ruyan's company are all my trusted confidants. I've officially become Liu Ruyan's competitor. She finally realized something was off. She called me furiously. Chen Mo, how dare you steal my clients? Don't you forget, President Liu? We're still legally married right now. The divorce cooling off period isn't over yet. What's mine is yours. What are you so worked up about? See you at the Civil Affairs Bureau in 3 days. 3 days later, we got our divorce certificates. I felt relieved all at once. I didn't hold back at all when poaching Liu Ruyan's clients. And the key point is, all the veteran staff left at her company. By the time Liu Ruyan sensed something was wrong, it was already too late. She fired the employees one by one. Those employees not only got their due compensation smoothly, but also joined my company right away. I contacted the media at this time. The incident where Chu Sheng threw objects from a height, them forcing me to withdraw the lawsuit, and their affair that happened before my divorce. I revealed all of these to the media. It immediately caused a huge stir online. Liu Ruyan's company was on the verge of collapse. One day I just signed a big contract. Liu Ruyan came to see me. Her assistant helped her walk into my office. Her attitude towards me was completely different from before. Hello, President Chen. What brings you here today, President Liu? Why didn't your partner come with you? That one sentence hit Liu Ruyan right where it hurt. She was practically fuming with rage. That ungrateful bastard Chu Sheng took advantage of my blindness to secretly transfer money to himself with my phone. He put voluntary gift in the remark. He transferred almost 10 million from me. Oh, you're being too formal, President Liu. Your money is Mr. Chu's money after all. Why make such a clear distinction? But he just won't agree to marry me and get a marriage license. What do you need from me today? Chenmo, can we get back together and remarry? I looked at that disgustingly shameless face. I couldn't believe she had the nerve to say that. You were so good to me back then. All the nice food, nice clothes, nice stuff. You were never willing to use for yourself. You saved all of them for me. You still love me now, right? I know you do. It was all my fault before. That bastard Chusheng only went after me for my money. I know only you are truly good to me. Cut it out. If you came here just to say this stuff, you can leave right now. Seeing that my attitude was firm, from those hollow eyes of hers, flowed 2 streams of cloudy tears. Chenmo, I know you're the kindest person. You can't just watch me go bankrupt and end up homeless on the streets, right? Introduce 1 or 2 of your clients to me, so I can keep my business running. That's no big deal at all, President Liu. I'll host a gathering tonight. Make sure you come, okay? Liu Ruyan left my office full of confidence. She thought I was still the same as I was in my past life, that I'd never be able to get over her. Soon, it was the time we agreed on. Liu Ruyan and I ran into each other right by the elevator entrance. This way, President Liu, let me help you. Liu Ruyan straightened her back immediately. When we passed by a guest room door, the door was half open, and we heard a man's whiny voice coming from inside. She's so stingy. She's never willing to spend money on me at all. I had such a hard time getting some money out of her. I'm never going to have anything to do with her ever again. Just looking at her makes me sick. Chusheng's words made the woman next to him laugh out loud. Great job, you'll be my sweetie from now on. We'll take the money from that idiot Liu Ruyan and run away together. Liu Ruyan outside the door was trembling all over with anger. She yanked her arm away from me and rushed into the room. She ran straight to Chusheng without any mistake. Liu Ruyan, what are you doing? I booked the entire floor. No one will hear her screaming for help at all. Chusheng, I'm gonna make you pay for this today. You spent my money on that little tramp. Cheated on me, and even tried to kill me. I should have never made Chen Mo forgive you back then. You deserve to rot in jail for the rest of your life. Chusheng's screams echoed throughout the whole room. Liu Ruyan acted like she didn't hear a thing. She hit him harder and harder. As for the woman next to Chusheng, the moment Liu Ruyan rushed into the room, she had already snuck out. She came up to me. Mr. Chen, we did pretty well on the task, right? It was a huge success. I'll give you a promotion, a raise, and a bonus later. The woman thanked me and left. Of course, I planned the whole situation today. Even though Liu Ruyan is blind, Chusheng is no match for her at all. When Liu Ruyan flew into a rage, Chusheng couldn't fight back at all. He knelt on the ground, crying his eyes out, hugging Liu Ruyan's legs tightly. Stop hitting me! Please stop! Ruyan, I beg you, let me go. Hearing that, Liu Ruyan got even more furious. She threw another round of punches and kicks. Chusheng let out a scream. He curled up on the ground, clutching his stomach. A pool of blood formed under him. I wonder if he still remembers. In my past life, I knelt and begged them just like this. But they didn't have an ounce of mercy for me. They just stood by and watched me suffer. Now Chusheng is finally getting a taste of this pain. Finally, the hotel security guards came upstairs. They called 120 right away. Of course I wasn't going to let Chusheng die. I was the one who called the hotel security. I want Chusheng to stay alive properly. When the paramedics carried Chusheng out, he was already on his last breath. Chenmo, let's get back to our business talk. I looked at Liu Ruyan. She acted like nothing had happened at all. Ms. Liu, something this serious just happened. Our partners have already heard about it. They rescheduled the negotiation. Let's talk about it next time. I left Liu Ruyan alone in the hotel. Then I turned around and went home. I relaxed and poured myself a glass of red wine, just waiting for the rest of the good show to start. Chusheng was beaten really badly. No one took care of him at all during his hospital stay. He was absolutely miserable. After he got discharged from the hospital, he started hanging around rich ladies and big shots again. No matter how sweet his words were, no one paid him any attention at all. That's when Chusheng found out Liu Ruyan had been spreading rumors that he was a gold digger, and that he liked cheating on his partners. That completely cut off Chusheng's source of income. His savings were almost all gone from reckless spending. Liu Ruyan's company was already going through bankruptcy proceedings. She came to pester me every single day. She kept calling me nonstop. Chenmo, that was all Chusheng's fault. That jerk. I'm the one who's a perfect match for you, okay? You have to believe what I'm about to tell you. I'm reborn. We were husband and wife in our past life. We loved each other so much. We had a son and a daughter. They took care of us until we passed away. Liu Ruyan made up tons of lies to me, but none of them could move me at all. In this life, I became blind, and I wasn't in my right mind either. I believed Chusheng's nonsense. That's why I was stupid enough to divorce you. Chenmo, let's get remarried. We'll have a son and a daughter again, and keep the happy life we had in our past life. You haven't dated anyone else all this time. You must still be waiting for me. Just then, someone snatched my phone away. The woman next to me spoke in a scarily cold voice. If you dare harass my husband again, I'll turn you blind fool into something way worse. Liu Ruyan was so scared she didn't dare make another sound. I hung up the phone. I pulled the woman into my arms. Chenmo, you're mine and only mine. I chased you for so long back then. How could you ever like that trashy woman? Now I can finally have you all to myself. She's my childhood sweetheart. She's had a crush on me since we were kids, but I never even spared her a glance before. Now that I'm reborn in this life, I finally know who truly cares about me. Soon I held my wedding. On that day, Liu Ruyan insisted on coming to the wedding, but on her way there, the brakes on Chusheng's truck suddenly failed. It came speeding right towards her. Liu Ruyan couldn't see at all. She had no way to escape. She was hit by Chusheng right on the spot. Chusheng looked at Liu Ruyan lying on the ground. He threw his head back and laughed loudly. Liu Ruyan, this is all karma. We planned everything so carefully, but we never expected this outcome. When the police took Chusheng away, he was still laughing like a madman. When I heard the news, I was having a candlelit dinner with my wife. Isn't this another happy occasion? Now their mutual destruction has come to an end. All of Liu Ruyan's property is back in my hands. If it weren't for my support and efforts back then, she would never have gotten anywhere in her entire life. All of this was supposed to be mine, and my wonderful life is just about to start.